Hello everyone, this is Fire from Tech Gaming Villa. I hope you all are well. This is the another part of the video about the Sony Bravia 9, the latest 2024 lineup flagship TV. The Sony Bravia 9 claims to be the brand's brightest 4K TV ever with an ambitious new backlight driver. The positive side of this TV is its big brightness boost, more energy efficient and voice zoom 3, but only have two HDMI 2.1 ports like previous X95L. If you are new in my channel, then please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications and upcoming videos. I have another channel named Awesome Tech Gaming Pro, where I upload similar kind of tech videos like TV comparison, sound system, home theater, graphics cards. You can check and subscribe. The Sony Bravia 9 Mini LED TV is bright, like seriously bright, thanks to the development of what the company claims to be the world's smallest LED driver. The Bravia 9 emerges as Sony's flagship 4K set for 2024 with big promises of picture excellence. You might be thinking Bravia 9 sounds much more straightforward than the alphabet soup used for Sony product naming in the past. Although the lineup hasn't totally transitioned to this new branding, the award-winning Sony Bravia XR A95 and QD-OLED TV is being carried over from last year. It implies Sony wants to become more approachable to average customers. And if you were to see the Bravia 9 in person, like I've eyed of Sony 2024 TV lineup review, you'd want to approach it. From first impressions, this TV's rich precision has the power to pull you in and make what you're watching look all that more realistic. It also proves Sony is truly taking mini LED technology seriously to rival the likes of Samsung's Neo QLED TV lineup. But will that be enough to make the Bravia 9 one of the best TVs of the year? I think the Sony Bravia 9 is fantastic TV, by far the best mini LED TV. The Bravia 9 was announced alongside the rest of the new Sony TVs for 2024. This year's family notably features a rebrand in which the TVs are labeled by number, with the numbers ascending from least to most premium. The Bravia 9 Mini LED TV is the highest offering of the lot, as reflected in part by the price. The set comes in 65, 75 and 85 inch sizes starting at $3,300. That lands the Bravia 9 among the priciest TVs. The 65 inch price is $3,300, 75 inch price $4,000 and massive 85 inch price $5,500, which is very expensive. The Sony A95 and QD-OLED TV that was named the best 4K TV of 2023 will remain available. In terms of more traditional OLED technology, the new Bravia 8 introduces about a 30% thinner build compared to last year's 8TL OLED TV. The Bravia 9 Mini LED TV's design is simple yet modern looking. It's easy to appreciate the titanium silver bezel, which wraps the sides of the screen, but doesn't create a lip on the panel, providing a bezel-less look. Meanwhile, the 4-wheel stand offers versatile setup options based on what best suits your space. Like most Sony TVs, the Bravia 9 features a checkerboard pattern on the back and a port array that can be concealed by a detachable panel. Speaking of the port array, only two of the Bravia 9's 4 total HDMI ports are HDMI 2.1. A full array of 2.1 ports is standard for other premium OLED TVs and QLED TVs for comparison. In some ways, Sony's previous gen mini LED TVs didn't seem to have the same fineness as some of the brand's other TVs. It didn't give Samsung's Neo QLED branded mini LED a real run for its money. But the Bravia 9 looks to shake things up. That's all thanks to a new backlight driver developed by Sony's microprocessor division that the company says is the world's smallest mini LED driver to date. By decreasing the size of the mini LEDs, Sony can increase the number of LEDs and number of local dimming zones, resulting in 320% more zones than the previous gen X95L. More zones means more refined control, meaning the picture can get brighter in the right spots without the risk of dimming or blurring out parts of the picture it shouldn't. Sony peeled back the panel layers to show us how these mini LEDs essentially recreate the intended image in the backlight with a level of detail other mini LED backlights on the current market cannot. This reflected when watching some sample footage where the brightest parts of the picture really seemed to pop with an impressive degree of realism. With the help of this new technology, the Bravia 9 can reach a peak brightness that's 50% greater than before while also using up to 20% less power. We saw a demo that showed this mini LED TV is even more power efficient than an OLED one. Otherwise, in the sound department, the Bravia 9 has features like 3D sound upscaling as well as acoustic center sync with a compatible Sony soundbar. And what is Zoom 3? Zoom 3 effectively increases or decreases the prominence of vocals. Once again, it seems sound is the underrated reason to buy a Sony TV. So Sony has a mini LED TV that's going to give Samsung a run for its money with a 50% brightness boost and a sharp increase in local living zones. The Bravia 9 seems like it's going to be among the TVs to beat this year. Switching to a demo of fully clothed TVs and a comparison between the Bravia 9 and Samsung S95C is fascinating. While the result will have likely been skewed by the ambient light in the room, it's still impressive that the backlit Bravia 9 seemed to get very close to the QD OLED for black depth while providing brighter and more insightful highlights with an image of brightly lit blue flower. The Bravia 9 did a much better job reproducing the light shining through the delicate translucent petals, which the Samsung S95C made look more opaque. To highlight the Bravia 9's peak brightness superiority, Sony next had with the X95L, Samsung S95C, and Sony's new 4000 nit mastering monitor display a series of color test patterns consisting of concentric rings at different leveled brightness levels going right up to 4000 nits. Other than some slight clipping in the 2000 to 4000 nit jump with the red pattern, the Bravia 9 was able to reproduce every step up to the 4000 nit peak. Only the mastering monitor could handle every step in every color, and neither the X95 nor S95C could get close with this Bravia 9. In a demo of real content, a bright sunset, this manifested as a much more detailed reproduction of the brightest parts of the picture, such as the sun itself and the nearby clouds, which lacked definition, structure, and shading via the X95L and S95C. Bright colors via the Bravia 9 were terrifically vivid and punchy in a way that neither of the other consumers sets could manage to. That said, while the Bravia 9 was the only TV that could get close, very close in fact, to the mastering monitor for brightness, I actually felt that the Samsung S95C at times got closer to it for colors. This wasn't by a large margin, but in mid and dark tones, the S95C and mastering monitor looked richer and deeper in color, and I found myself slightly wishing that the Bravia 9 had the additional depth and solidity that you get from OLED. It's also worth noting that while very consistent at wide angles compared to most backlit TVs, I did notice a small amount of color desaturation when viewing the Bravia 9 off-axis, as well as smears of blooming, which is virtually non-existent when face-on with the TV. While the demonstrations were focused on brightness, colors, and contrast, it's worth noting that the Bravia 9 also looked terrifically sharp and detailed with the footage used, and while there weren't any really strong tests of motion, I saw nothing to suggest that Sony's processing prowess has in any way diminished. Let's talk about its sound quality. While Sony's OLED TVs primarily create sound through the use of actuators that vibrate the whole screen, this isn't possible with a backlit TV. So the Bravia 9 features what Sony refers to as acoustic multi-audio plus. This name has been used before, but the Bravia 9's implementation is different to that of previous models in that it features beam tweeters along the top as well as frame tweeters on the sides, two front-facing drivers towards the bottom, and real bass drivers on the rear. The overall aim is to replicate the sound from screen effect that you get from the company's OLED models. In total, Sony says the system has a power output of 70 watt, which is pretty hefty by a TV standards, acoustic center sync, which allows the TV to sonically integrate with a compatible Sony soundbar, makes a predictable return here. And Sony says it has been improved to produce more natural, accurate sound location. In truth, this issue with the acoustic center sync has been more focused on tonal than spatial integration. But it will be interesting to give this upgrade a test. Another new upgraded feature is Voice Zoom 3, which uses AI to identify and isolate dialogue so that it can be boosted without harming the rest of the sonic presentation. I was given a quick demonstration of this on one of Sony's new soundbars, and I found it to be pretty impressive, but I can't report on its effectiveness with the TV's own speakers. In fact, I can't really report on Bravia 9's sound quality at all, as it was barely touched upon during this demo. This is just one aspect of the TV's overall performance. So finally, I have to say the Bravia 9 is a huge deal. Sony is betting big on a brighter future for movies, and to be frank, a flood of 4,000 nit films seems far from certain. Whether there's a need for a TV this bright is debatable then, but that doesn't mean there isn't a desire for it. During the demo sessions, the Bravia 9 knocked my socks off with its punch, highlight detail, bright colors and contrast, yet it always maintained that trademark Sony cinematic authenticity. It does things that no OLED TV can and perhaps never will, and that makes it a thrilling proposition. Equally, there are some areas in which an OLED will still beat it. We won't pass judgment on the Bravia 9 until it's been through this comprehensive comparative in-house testing process, but at this stage, it's surely one of 2024's most exciting and controversial new TVs. So what's your thought about this new Sony Bravia 9 TVs? Please write in the comments below. That's it from now.